Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Youth taken to hospital after stabbing near Richmond Hill School.
Fourth suspect charged in fatal Father's Day shooting in North York. Toronto to keep priority routes clear ahead of major downtown road closure. 2 youths charged after several Mississauga schools' properties vandalized with racist graffiti. City of Hamilton declares state of emergency over opioids, homelessness, mental health. St. Catherine's teacher charged with sexual assault. 1 person arrested after allegedly stealing Purolator truck while fleeing police in Scarborough. 71 housing units damaged or destroyed by Vaughan fire.
Police investigating after 2 males shot, another assaulted in Vaughan. Interest rate hold could add heat to real estate markets, mortgage experts. Bank of Canada holds key interest rate at 4.5%, says no plans to cut soon. Brampton landlord registration pilot would target illegal suites, predatory rentals.
These were the headlines and let's jump right into the details.
A new pilot program from the city of Brampton could help to curb illegal rental units as the cost of living in the GTA continues to soar. On March 29th, Brampton councillors voted unanimously in favor of the pilot program, which would set a cap on the number of residents allowed in a home, as well as create a system for random inspections and fines for unlicensed rental units. The program would also explore establishing a landlord code of conduct, as well as assembling a searchable interactive directory of the licensed landlords in Brampton. A final plan for the pilot program is set to be announced later this year, with an anticipated start date in early 2024. The program would initially only apply to rental properties in wards 1, 3, 4, and 5, areas targeted by city staff due to their high volumes of rental units. The proposed program follows a widespread struggle for affordable housing in Brampton, which is fueled in part by the area's large international student population. Last month, Sheridan College released the Brampton Charter for Improving the International Student Experience, which is designed to serve as a concrete action plan for improving the lives of international students who study and stay in Peel region. Brampton isn't the first city to address the need for more accountability from landlords and property managers. The city of Waterloo requires landlords to apply for a license and renew it annually in order to ensure that units are well maintained.
A 4th suspect has been arrested in connection with a fatal shooting in North York on Father's Day last year. Toronto police said on afternoon of June 19, 24-year-old Jaron Williams was shot in the area of Lotherton Pathway and Caledonia Road south of Lawrence Avenue West. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police arrested 2 20-year-old men in Montreal and 19-year-old man in London, Ontario the following weeks and charged them with first-degree murder. On Thursday, police announced the arrest of another male suspect, the city's 33rd homicide of 2022. They said the suspect was located and taken into custody on Wednesday. He has been charged with first-degree murder. Police are not identifying him as he was 17-year-old at the time of the shooting, which means he cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. He appeared in the Youth Justice Court on Thursday. The City of Toronto hopes to keep designated roads clear in an effort to reduce traffic congestion due to the construction of the Ontario line. As of May 1st, no non-emergency utility work will take place on priority travel routes, on-street parking will be restricted, and cafeteria installations will be prohibited. There is only one road designated as a priority travel route so far, Dundas Street between Jarvis and Bathurst. The restrictions will remain in place until the summer of 2024, officials say. The route was designated in response to a major closure on a busy portion of Queen Street. Traffic between Bay and Yonge Streets will be diverted for an estimated 4.5 years, Provincial Transit Agency Metrolinx has predicted. This will impact all vehicular traffic, including public transportation. The city is also looking at other ways to prepare for construction of the Ontario line, including modifying traffic signals to allow for flow of traffic, deploying pair police officers and traffic agents to direct vehicles, and work on a plan to promote the safety of people traveling in the area. The traffic agents will be deployed at key intersections during morning and afternoon peak traffic periods. Two youths are facing more than a dozen charges after allegedly damaging a number of schools and commercial properties in Mississauga and vandalizing them with racist graffiti. Peel Regional Police said on Thursday that the incidents, which investigators have determined to be hate-motivated, occurred between November 2022 and April 2023. They added that the damage cost is estimated to be worth thousands of dollars. As a result of investigation, police arrested two boys from Mississauga on Wednesday. They have been charged with 8 counts of mischief over $5,000. One of them is facing an additional count of mischief under $5,000. The boys' identities are protected under the terms of Youth Criminal Justice Act. They were released with conditions and will appear in court at a later date. Hamilton's City Council declared a state of emergency on Thursday over homelessness, opioid addiction, and mental health issues in the city. A motion approving the emergency call does not immediately compel the Southern Ontario city to launch new programs to redress the widening crisis. But it will see Mayor Andrea Horwath ask the provincial government to act on recommendations from a local group of public health agencies. Those include expanding services and harm reduction programs for people suffering from addiction after a January report showed opioid-related deaths and overdoses in Hamilton had increased exponentially. The report said there were 26 opioid-related deaths in 2005 compared to 166 in 2021, noting that over 65% of them were among males between 25 and 65 years old. Horwath will also call on the province to correct a funding model for homelessness after a 2021 Auditor General report found the province was not allocating enough resources to the issue. Horwath will also request that the province and the CEO of Ontario Health immediately commit to fully funding gaps in mental health service, including annual increases based on inflation and population. A fire at a housing development in Vaughan on Wednesday has damaged or destroyed at least 71 units, Awaz News has learned. Deputy Fire Chief Grant Moffat said on Thursday morning 32 single-family homes and 21 townhomes were among the buildings ruined by the fire. Moffat said many of these homes will need to be torn down due to irreparable heat damage. On Wednesday, more than 50 firefighters, plus police and paramedics, responded to the massive fire near the corner of Teston Road and Pine Valley Drive. Windy, dry conditions contributed to the fire's rapid spread before crews were able to put a line in the sand to prevent further damage. No major injuries have been reported. A firefighter was transported to hospital for burn treatment out of an abundance of caution. The housing division affected by the fire had listed their homes at price points as high as $2 million, with residents slated to begin moving in later this year. A St. Catharines High School teacher has been charged with sexual assault. Niagara police alleged in a Thursday press release that the teacher formerly employed at Governor Simcoe Secondary School touched a student inappropriately. The teacher has been suspended by the District School Board of Niagara. David Cockburn, 46, was arrested on April 13 and charged with 1 count of sexual assault and 1 count of sexual exploitation. Both counts relate to one victim. Cockburn is scheduled to appear at a bail hearing on April 14 in St. Catharines. One person has been taken into custody after allegedly stealing a Purolator truck while fleeing from police in Scarborough. According to police, a suspect from York region was fleeing police in Toronto when he stole the truck. The truck was recovered near Brimley and Ellesmere roads. Few details have been released by police about why officers were pursuing the suspect. The individual police say has been arrested. It is not clear what charges, if any, will be laid. No injuries were reported as a result of the incident.
A massive fire has destroyed several million-dollar houses that are under construction in Vaughan. More than a dozen houses in area of Teston Road and Pine Valley Drive went up in flames Wednesday afternoon. Several road closures are in effect, including Pine Valley Drive at Ballantine Boulevard, Teston Road at Ballantine Boulevard, and Teston Road at Arbordale Drive. According to Klein Estate website, who is responsible for developing the houses, the properties were all selling for more than $2 million and residents were slated to begin moving in late 2023. According to the City of Vaughan, multiple houses have collapsed and spot fires in the area are being addressed. More than 50 firefighters along with police and paramedics were dispatched to the scene. No injuries were reported as a result of the fire. The Ontario Fire Marshal has been notified and the cause is still being investigated. The Bank of Canada held its key interest rate steady and telegraphed that it may need to keep rates higher for longer as the effect of tighter borrowing conditions continue to ripple through the economy. The central bank, which also released a new economic forecast Wednesday, said recent data has reinforced its confidence that inflation will continue to fall in the coming months. Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem said price growth is easing quickly and will slow to about 3% this summer, while the economy is expected to grow modestly even as inflation comes down. Economists were widely anticipating the Bank of Canada to maintain its interest rate at 4.5% as inflation eases meaningfully, while also keeping the door open to future rate hikes if necessary. Canada's annual inflation rate fell to 5.2% in February, marking the second month in a row it came in lower than forecast. The Bank of Canada expects the inflation rate to fall to 3% by mid-year and back down to 2% by the end of the 2024. Its decision to stay on the sidelines comes as the economy posts stronger than expected growth and the labor market remains exceptionally tight, both signs of a still hot economy. In its quarter monetary policy report released Wednesday, the central bank's updated forecast suggests it expects the economy to still slow just a little later than previously anticipated. It's now expecting real gross domestic product to grow by 1.4% this year, up from its previous forecast of 1.0%. The governor highlighted repeatedly that inflation expectations are still a concern for the central bank. Recent surveys conducted by the Bank of Canada shows consumers and businesses are still expecting inflation to remain higher than its own forecasts. Since March of last year, the Bank of Canada has aggressively raised its key interest rate to stifle inflation. But after its historic monetary policy tightening, the Bank of Canada has hit the pause button. It announced earlier that this year it plans to hold its key interest rate steady to allow time for the effects of higher borrowing costs to broaden out in the economy. The central bank said its governing council will be watching these indicators along with core inflation closely as it sets monetary policy moving forward. 3 males were taken to hospital after gunshots rang out early Wednesday morning in Vaughan. The incident happened at an industrial unit at 7135 Islington Avenue. York Regional Police said shortly before 1 a.m. they received a report of a shooting that happened in a parking lot near Islington and Steeles Avenues. At the scene, officers found 3 victims, 2 males aged 17 and 23 who had been shot and another male who had been assaulted. They were all taken to hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries, police said in a news release. Police said several suspects fled the area in a white BMW sedan with front-end damage. There is no further description of the suspects or the vehicle they fled in available at this time. Investigators believe that this was a targeted incident and there is no threat to public safety, investigators said in a release. A youth has been injured in stabbing near Richmond Hill High School, police say. It happened near a baseball field west of Richmond Green Secondary School on Leslie Street, north of Elgin Mills Road East. Police say a youth was stabbed and taken to local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The circumstances that led to the stabbing are unknown. Police have no suspect information available. In a statement to Awaz News, York District School Board said an altercation occurred off school property. We will be communicating directly with students and families and will providing support to students at the school who may need it, the board said.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.